The FCC demands an off button from SpaceX Starlink. Here's why. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time today. We have a little bit of fireside. That smokiness of the lap song, so good. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. We're gonna be talking about the FCC, Elon Musk, SpaceX Starlink. What the heck is going on over there? Why does the approval take so long from the FCC? Everything is it just gets stuck in the mud, right? Could it have something to do with like greasing palms or I don't know. Anyways, I was reading an article, I think it was on PC Magazine, I believe, I think it was last night. And I want to bring this to your attention because it's important and it's going to determine if SpaceX Starlink is going to be able to offer, like we talked about in previous videos, sat to cell service, right? Cellular phone to satellite, basically turning your cell phone into a satellite phone. Now, there's other companies that have been doing it already. We see Apple, they've joined with, I think it was Global Star, I think it is. And they've been doing it for some time, using it as like an emergency messaging type of service. So if you have an Apple phone and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have absolutely no connectivity, you don't have any Wi-Fi, there's no cell towers near you, nothing, you could still communicate through texting using one of those Global Star satellites. I think there's like 20 of them or something. There's not many. And that's why this service, that emergency service, is so damn slow. But what has happened recently is now the FCC is requesting like an off button, like an emergency kill switch or something from Elon Musk to be able to turn off this service if for some reason it does impede or start stepping on other people's service, either terrestrial or non-terrestrial, either which way. So this article it's just irritating, but I want to bring it to your attention because it gives you a understanding of what's going on and also why does this stuff take so long, all right? So I'm going to go through this and then when we're done, I'm going to ask for you to give your opinion down below because I want to know what you think about all of this. Anyways, it starts out by saying this. SpaceX is aiming to launch a Starlink cellular service next year, with the goal of supplying satellite-based messaging and internet to smartphones. However, the company still needs to convince the FCC that the technology won't interfere with other satellite and ground-based services. Yeah. On Tuesday, the FCC sent a list of additional questions to SpaceX. There's always additional questions or demands, right? As the U.S. regulator considers whether to approve or reject the company's application to operate this Starlink cellular service over the 910 to 995 megahertz radio band. So let's look at that, I guess, at the 1.9 gigahertz band, right? Just to make it simple. The company initially applied last year to begin using thousands of Starlink satellites to beam radio signal to smartphones on the ground, including those from T-Mobile. Now, if you remember correctly, the video that I did before, there was not just T-Mobile, but T-Mobile in the US, yes, but there's a lot of about 5 or 6 other corporations or companies or telcos that will be partnering, doing the exact same thing as T-Mobile in the US. So keep that in mind. There's more than just T-Mobile that will be partnering, let's say, with Starlink to get this sat to cell coverage. Now, the FCC requests that SpaceX supplies a, quote, interference analysis. I thought this was done. Wasn't this done? Quote, this analysis should take into account the worst case scenario of all satellites transmitting simultaneously, including different power levels required for rain fade and cloud cover, as well as clear sky conditions over a particular area of coverage. This is what the FCC wrote. In addition, this same analysis should look into the, quote, possibility of loss of service by other authorized satellite and terrestrial operators in that area, the commission added. Another request asked SpaceX to provide a map with a projected beam coverage for all of the US, showing the maximum and typical power levels of the satellite cellular service. Now, this is where it gets even more juicy. The FCC also wants to know how the company can shut down the cellular Starlink system in the event interference arises over certain geographic areas. They want this power off button, this like emergency kill switch now. Quote, if SpaceX is required to cease operation due to harmful interference when the satellites are serving populated areas that already have full terrestrial coverage, how will this be accomplished with multiple satellites or multiple coverage areas simultaneously? Once again, like a master kill switch to just shut them all off if there is any type of slight interference with anyone else. Quote, because Omnispace's satellites are in constant motion, as is SpaceX's Starlink satellites, the interference Omnispace will see will be constant and pervasive for any of our satellites operating at a distance of 5,400 kilometers from the U.S. territory where SpaceX is operating a single satellite in its proposed SCS system. This is what Omnispace wrote in a letter to the FCC in August, I believe, basically saying that, listen, SpaceX Starlink cannot do this because it's going to affect us, and this is why. Omnispace also created a map that they handed to the FCC showing an exclusion zone to depict the region that the alleged Starlink interference would occur. So they come up with this nice map, and as you can see, it basically covers all of the United States, some of South America, so on and so forth. But what's interesting is I don't think Omnispace really does that much in the US. And I think this article talks about it somewhere in here. Anyways, the article continues with, in September, SpaceX told the FCC that Omnispace was making false claims about the Starlink cellular service, posing an interference risk. SpaceX also alleged that Omnispace was focused on serving foreign customers rather than US users. That's what I'm saying. I remember that very clearly now because they don't really focus on the US very much. It's abroad. That is what Omnispace focuses on. So I don't know. Quote, SpaceX will not cause harmful interference to Omnispace's speculative foreign system, and Omnispace's shape-shifting analysis provides no basis for the commission to delay the deployment of beneficial services to millions of American consumers. This is what SpaceX wrote to the FCC. So, looking at this, I mean, this is norm. Right? This is absolutely how it always goes. And as we know, the FCC has to field all of these letters every time there's another letter that comes in saying that, listen, SpaceX cannot do this because it's going to harm us. This is the data. Now, all of a sudden, it has to be proved or disproved. All right? That's just simply how it goes down. So the way I look at this is Omnispace has not shown a preponderance of evidence saying that this is definitely going to negatively affect them. They just haven't. And the information that they have given, SpaceX has disproved a lot of it already. So they just keep on kind of piling in with more and more letters. And they do this, why? To slow things down, to stymie things. So not only do you have all of the government regulatory bodies with 3 letters that are slowing things down because they really don't like Musk very much, but then you have other companies that are throwing more things into the mix that have to be addressed before there's an approval. Now, like I was saying earlier, we have Globalstar, right? Apple has been using Globalstar for quite some time now. Whereas if you have an Apple phone, you could be like on the top of a mountain somewhere that has no cellular service, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. And if you need to make an emergency text, you can do so. All right, using that Globalstar system. Now they use L-band for their uplink, which is like 1.6 gigahertz, I believe. And then they use the S-band for their downlink, which is like 2.4 gigahertz in that range. Well, SpaceX Starlink is trying to use the 1.9 gigahertz range. Now, I don't know if they are using 1.9 for everything, upstream and downstream, or they're segregating it like Globalstar does, where they use the L-band for the uplink and they use the S-band for the downlink. I'm not sure exactly how Starlink is doing it, but I'm only reading so far that it's 1.9 gigahertz is what they're requesting. So who knows? Maybe they're doing it bi-direct. Who knows? But the bottom line here is this has already been done. And I don't see any issues with Apple doing it, right? But when Musk tries doing it with his Starlink, it's like everyone is piling on. You have Dish Network suing, and you have the other one suing. You have this global star probably going to sue if they don't get their way with the FCC, on and on and on. And this is what ends up happening. And this is why everything is pushed back. And it takes so damn long. But that one part that really just doesn't sit well is that they have the nuts to ask for like a kill switch to shut it all down. Thousands of satellites, we're going to shut them all down if there is any interference with anyone anywhere. I mean, really? Like some master kill switch just shut it all off because there is a tiny bit of interference somewhere? I mean, the amount of requests are just up here. I don't even know. I don't know how companies like SpaceX do it. I really don't know. I mean, I would just go back with, no, there's no way to put a kill switch on all 1,000 satellites. And that's it. Because it's just ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Now, is it a possibility? Can they do that? I really don't know. I don't know how they could. But if that's not wired in through programming or through actual hardware means of turning off that E-Node B, right, which are sitting up on those satellites, just throwing the kill switch, it's not going to happen. You could ask in one hand and take a crap in the other and see which one comes first. I don't know. It's just not going to happen. So here we sit. Whereas I was saying that at the end of October or maybe the beginning of November, we were going to see some testing of this sat to phone or phone to sat service from SpaceX Starlink. Now we see, doesn't seem like it's going to be happening very soon because they have to answer and come back with more nonsense and maybe even come up with some master kill switch before they can get the approval. It's just horrible. In my personal opinion, it is horrible. It just stymies, it stifles, it slows, it just sticks innovation deep in the mud. That's just how it is. That is what is going on. And that's why I like that quote where they said SpaceX will not cause harmful interference to Omnispace's speculative, I love that, speculative foreign system. And Omnispace shape-shifting analysis, which is what it is, it keeps on changing. Shape-shifting analysis provides no basis for the commission to delay the deployment of beneficial services to millions of American consumers. That is perfect. That is exactly what is going on here. That is exactly what's going on. So anyways, guys, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? Down below, let's have a discussion. Do you think that the FCC should request, require, want, need, must have a kill switch from Elon Musk to be able to shut this down if it interferes in any slight manner? Should that be one of the requests that must be met? What do you think? I think it's just preposterous, in my personal opinion. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, throw it a thumbs up. That would be very helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. If you are subscribed, click this little button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. If you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button. You could click there, give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, that's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. If you want more Starlink content, I put a Starlink playlist right over here. There's over 200 videos, helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to buy, what not to buy, why. Awesome. Tons of content I put together for you and your Starlink love. Like mine. Also, if you're looking for a VPN, go check out PureVPN. The nice folks over there gave us a promo code, which is JCristina. If you use JCristina at checkout or use the link JCristina.com/VPN, once again, JCristina.com/VPN, you will get 15 additional % off at checkout. Go check them out. If you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks, get them. They are free. Go to JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the many years. Hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.